Hello and welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Talk. We've got tonight Jarred Luján with us, writer of several awesome books. Got a couple upcoming projects we're going to talk about tonight, Crash and Troy being one of them, from a wave blue world. I always want to say that a different way. But welcome in.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Wave Blue World always trips me up too. I've said it a bunch lately, so that's the only reason I'm getting that.
I love it too. It took me a little bit to realize the Brave New World, a wave blue world, and I think that once I realized that, I started having trouble saying.
Yeah,
my brain was trying to correct it. But thanks for coming on tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm super psyched.
Yeah, and shout out to Michael Baker in the chat. Come for more knowledge, wisdom, and to expand his horizons. So we're going to introduce you to some new books tonight, hopefully.
Yes.
So something that we like to do with our guests here is to have you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into comics, and then how you took that step from the reader side to wanting to write comics.
Yeah, so I got into comics when I was like 14. I was a manga import, as a matter of fact. I started off reading. I can't remember the manga I read. It's like, I always talk about this every time somebody asks me like how I got into comics. So if anybody watching like remembers it and realizes it, feel free to tell me on Twitter. But it's like like a cyborg, or he's like a robot or something, and he falls in love with a human, and it's like their journey to safety or something. Man, I know that's super vague, and that's why I'm never going to find out what it was, right?
And so my co-host Caroline here, who's in the chat tonight because of Virginia internet issues, is also a big manga reader. So maybe she'll know the answer to that, hopefully. I'm just getting into manga myself recently, so I unfortunately cannot answer that question. But hopefully, if anybody watching now or watching later knows, let us know in the comments so we can get to the bottom of this.
Yes, I've been wanting to reread it. Is like my whole thing, right? And I can't figure it out. I'm gonna have to reach out to like friends from middle school to figure it out, I think. But yeah, and so I got into manga, and then I kind of migrated over to Western comics. As like that, where I grew up on the border, we didn't have like a comic shop, so everything was kind of like people handing each other books whenever they would go out of town to like San Antonio and stuff. And
nice.
And then Amazon came around, and I had a job, so I was able to buy comics off of the internet. And so I did that for a really long time. And then when I left my parents' place, I was poor as hell, and took a break from comics, and then got back into it about 8-9 years ago. But
okay.
I've wanted to be a writer, I think, like most of my life. It just took me a while to figure out that I wanted to do comics, and I tried like everything, right? Like I tried plays, I tried screenwriting, and I actually like screenwriting. It's just not. There's just like a lot of more formal rules in screenwriting versus like comics. And I'm not like a rules person. So
I can see some similarities also between like the screenwriting and comics, and I know there's always like the storyboarding side of movies kind of lines up a little bit with comics.
Yeah, and that was like a fun thing. But like I tried novels, I tried to write like nonfiction, and I just like couldn't get into it. And the thing with comics that I always talk about is that I have fun doing it. I have a lot of fun with the collaborative aspect of it, and scripting them is a lot more fun for me than screenwriting ever was. Excuse me. And so yeah, I just kind of I was experimenting with different writing mediums, and then I hit the ground running with comics, fell in love with it, and have just not looked back since.
And you've had something pretty exciting happen recently with the DC Milestones Initiative. So what exactly is that, and how did you get selected into it? Like, I mean, it sounded really awesome when they announced it, and congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. DC, the Milestone Initiative, for those who don't know, like the Milestone Comics was a sort of like another superhero universe created largely by black men, black creators. And they did bring in like a bunch of marginalized people, and they told black superhero stories. That's where, Static is one of the most popular characters. That's where Static came from. But also, like when I was after I got into the initiative, I was reading more and more of the old comics, and I read a bunch of Blood Syndicate, and I love Blood Syndicate. I could talk about Blood Syndicate until I'm blue in the face.
And Caroline could do the
Yeah,
opposite. Static is her like favorite
yeah,
character
Static's
of
great,
all that.
and so the Milestone Initiative is an effort from DC to look out to find marginalized creators, black and brown and black. It's a black indigenous people of color, to bring into comics and to kind of give us a different sets of skills and teach us things. And to get in, we had to write like a spec script. We had to write essays about ourselves and our experiences. We had an interview, and I think that's it. And then after that, we kind of got told. But it was great. It was a really really crazy experience. I got to meet a lot of really amazing people, both in the initiative. The people in the initiative are crazy talented, like just freakishly talented.
That's
And
good.
yeah, and I was fortunate enough, like I knew a few of them before we were all selected together. Like I knew Julio Anta, I knew Andrea Rosales, I knew Adigun Ilhan from he did Adigun and I are both Mad Cave Studios talent search
Okay.
winners. He did Hellfighter Quinn, and so I knew everybody, or I knew not everybody. There was 24 people, and I knew like three, but they're just like super talented, super nice, very kind and supportive. And DC was very, very kind and very nice and great to work with, great to talk to. It was a really crazy experience.
And I saw it was in the last couple of weeks they had the whole like all of your guys' pictures in
Yeah,
the comics, which was pretty cool to see them recognizing all of these awesome creators that maybe hadn't gotten their names to like the DC level of like mainstream, I guess.
yeah,
So that's, I mean, opening doors for all of you guys is awesome. And
yeah, yeah.
we need more of that representation.
Yeah, and it was what I liked about it is that it wasn't, it was spearheaded by people of color.
Yeah.
Dennis Cowan and Reggie Hudlin were right at the forefront. And that was a really cool experience. I want to be Dennis Cowan when I grow up, because Dennis Cowan, I don't know if anyone knows this, he's like the coolest dude on the planet, like the coolest guy. Um, but it was really really cool, and it was really really exciting to be in a room with these people who have already done it, who have kind of gotten themselves legendary careers, um, in a time where it was definitely a little bit definitely more difficult to do
Yeah.
so.
Um, I mean, I think we do have to talk about something that's in your background right now too. I feel like it's part of you. Got the Wu-Tang Clan everywhere in the background, and I think you recently got some special Wu-Tang Clan Crocs also.
I did. I'm wearing a shirt.
Yeah, and so I feel like Caroline's also even more sad to not be here because she's also a big fan. I sadly can say I'm not. I haven't really. I mean, also that, yeah, we're both cat people. Um,
My
I'm,
cat is not in the room.
I'm representing the cat. um, I think more. I never came across the Wu-Tang Clan growing up, which I feel like I missed out because so many people that I know are big fans.
I have a Wu-Tang D20 sitting right here, as a matter of fact.
That I think
yeah.
is the one that she has at her shop.
My friend Micah Myers, he is a Ringo nominated letterer, and he bought one for me. And I think, as a matter of fact, he might have bought it from her because he's also Virginia, if I'm not
Virginia
mistaken.
Beach area.
I think so. I'll have to ask him. I'm not sure, but
That's pretty funny.
yeah. But yeah, the Wu-Tang Clan changed my life for the better. I love the Wu-Tang Clan. I didn't discover them until I was like 18, 19. Yeah, that's dope.
That's
You
awesome.
you have like you have like one of the all-time best working letterers, and he just goes to your shop and buys me stuff and mails it to me.
I wonder if he even is just like, if he just goes in, doesn't tell anybody that he's a letterer and just does his thing.
I talk to Micah every week, so this is definitely coming up when I talk
Yeah.
to him. I'm gonna be like, dude.
Yeah, smallest world.
Yeah.
Who was it? It's I'm trying to remember if it's Bob France or the Metal Shark Bros writer.
Kevin.
I'm trying to remember if it's Bob or Kevin. One of them is also like right in the area and knows her boss.
Oh wow.
Like, we found that out like just from like interviews, and then like her and I think it was Kevin, because he wasn't there and she wasn't there. They both had internet things or something happened.
Oh, okay.
Like tonight. And okay, it is. I guess it is Bob. And then we met at Baltimore Comic Con, and they're like, "Oh wait, I know your boss." What is happening right now?
Yeah, that I always feel like Bob and Kevin know everybody though. Like I just
that is true.
presume.
Very true. I think, if I'm not mistaken, also used to go to her shop. Just this person that's in the chat right now.
Oh, okay.
Who we also met at Baltimore Comic Con. So like, or I met, but yeah, small world. Back to the Wu-Tang Clan.
Right, they're the best. I didn't get into the Wu-Tang Clan until I was like 18, and I was dirt. I didn't grow up like rich. I grew up like middle class, right? But I was dirt broke for the first time in my life, and I was having like uh, a difficult time, And I had a friend of mine who gave me 36 Chambers, their first album, and it like blew my mind. And they were talking about things that I was like struggling with, and it felt very transcendental. But yeah, and so I love the Wu-Tang Clan. They're the best. They're not only are they like amazing at hip hop, but they're also like incredible at everything else. They're really, really great. I love them.
At some point, I will listen and try to get into them. I've had enough people in my life tell me that kind of the same thing, that how great they are. So it will happen.
You don't even have to try that hard. You just got to sit down and do it, man.
I just got to actually hit the play button.
Yeah, that's all. Like, it'll take care of the rest,
Yeah. So couple cool projects that you got coming up. But first, I want to talk about this awesome comic that you had just within the last month. I think I got it.
Yes, I fulfilled those in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Something like that. All the Devils Are Here. Fantastic read. Just the concept alone got me, of the like struggling with dementia, Alzheimer's, and possessed by a demon. I was like, okay, all right. But it's such an emotional story too.
Yeah. I lost I always tell people that I pretty much lost my grandfather twice. When my grandfather passed away, he had struggled with really bad dementia for like 7 years, six, maybe 5. I don't know, but it was really hard to watch that unfold. And yeah, and the story of Estelle and Joe is based on my grandparents, and it was kind of me writing about uh, the struggles that my grandfather had and how much my grandmother meant, because my grandmother had died, and after she had passed away is when he took a turn for the worse. Um, so it's a really emotional story for me. It's a really
Yeah.
personal and deep story. Matt, who is the co-creator and artist on the book, his grandmother also struggled with dementia, so it was sort of this thing that we both connected with. Um, but yeah, it's very difficult to write. I think the last like 10 pages took me forever. I think I sat on those for like a month trying to figure it out. But yeah, I'm very proud of the book. I'm very glad it seems to connect with people so well and on such an emotional level. So I'm really psyched to see the reception for it.
Yeah, it was one of those that you just read and you have to just sit for a second. Like, okay, it's okay. But like, yeah, and Matt's art in it, very awesome. I also love this extra touch on the cover, like that the all the devils are here just feels like it's coming off the page at you, which is pretty cool. But yeah, overall, just awesome story. Is there anywhere that people can find that story still to buy it?
So there next time that it's going to be available will be through the Twin Blades Blood and Obsidian Kickstarter.
Okay.
Um, after that, uh, after that I might have it on my store. I do like a store where I open it up for a couple weeks and I close it because it's like a lot to maintain a store and I don't want to do
Yeah.
that, you know. So it might be there. Um, or there's a chance that it will be at a comic shop near you in by the end of the year. These are all things that may happen.
May or may not be
Yeah,
able to say.
that is a thing that you'll just have to keep an ear to the ground for. But
I like it.
yeah, yeah. The next time you will be able to get it will be through the Twin Blades Blood and Obsidian Kickstarter.
Okay. So perfect transition. Let's talk about Twin Blades, which the first one was just, and we were talking about this before we went on, just so much fun to
Yeah.
read. But also, I like the kind of like, it felt like the, I guess, historical, cultural pieces that you were pulling in were really cool too. And now it's coming back for a sequel of sorts.
Yeah, of sorts. Yeah. So if you've never read the Twin Blades, um, yeah, if you've never read the Twin Blades, right? Like I'm Mexican American. I grew up on the border of Mexico. Like I'm Texan. I'm literally 3 miles from the border of Mexico. I used to go to Mexico all the time. I'm very, very, very proud of my culture. I'm very proud of my ancestry. And one of the things that drives me crazy is this kind of obsession for Mexican and Latin led stories to kind of focus on cartels and immigration or Dia de los Muertos, and it's never really Dia de los Muertos. It's almost always like Mexican Halloween, and that's not what it is.
Yeah.
But I find it really frustrating, and I don't really care for it, and I because I don't want to tell those kinds of stories. And one day on Twitter, I put something like, somebody hire me to make comics so that I can give Mexican swords. And like people lost it. Like people were like, yeah, like we
Do
want
it.
that. Yeah, that sounds awesome. And so the next thing I knew, I was writing a script that was centered around Mexicans with swords. And but I wanted to connect it with, like, I wanted it to feel grandiose, you know, like there's this big ancient mythology. And so the book really leans into Aztec mythology. It connects there's an Aztec myth that when the fifth sun was created, the god Xolotl refused to sacrifice himself to create the sun, and as a result, he sobbed so uncontrollably that his eyes fell out. And he's the god of fire. He's the god of lightning. So they fell to the center of the universe, and they formed those. Yeah, they formed the Aztecs made big ass club swords with them.
Yeah, I love how they're not just like, it's a sword.
Yeah,
you know, it's a sword.
yeah, and so yeah, in the first Twin Blades, right? Like they're it's a sci-fi magical sword story, and it's just supposed to be fun.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Uh, and yeah, so we're doing the second installment. Launches on Kickstarter next month. It's a complete departure from yeah, please go sign up to be notified, because that is a big part of Kickstarter. But
we at least need 3 more there, right?
Yeah, exactly, so we can do the nice.
But
yeah, so we did this one at the Battle of Puebla, and which is the iconic Cinco de Mayo battle. And we were like, oh, we're going to do the Battle of Puebla, and we're going to tell a whole different story. It's a whole new story in this legacy of these big swords, and it's really fun. It's a really big. It's a little bit more serious than the first one, but not much more. It's still very much centered on being fun and big and explosive.
Nice. So the link over there is 1 in the chat, but 2 down in the description below. Will link you over to the pre-launch page, so you can hit save, and then when you launch it, it'll notify you.
Yeah, and we have early bird discounts, so you could like save a couple of bucks just by being one of the first ones.
Nice. There's a nice that's not related to the number. But do you know when exactly it's going to launch yet, or are you kind of waiting?
It's a little fluid. We have some really great variant artists that are coming on board to do a couple of variants for us. So right now, I'm hoping for the final week of July, but it will be in July. It might just be a little bit earlier, but if it's earlier, I will give everybody notice. I will make sure not shut up about it on Twitter and stuff.
When you start getting more active about posting on it, we know it's coming within.
Exactly.
I like it. Good strategy.
Yeah.
we got 1 closer. 67.
There we go. Thank you. It is gonna be. And I lowered prices from the first Kickstarter and my last one, as a matter of fact. I was like, gas be expensive. And so I was like, we're cutting this back. So you're gonna be able to already get a discount on my last ones.
We are 1 away from that nice.
Someone's got to do it by the end of the chat. Someone's got to do it.
I will check back on it in a few minutes. Hopefully we don't miss it.
I know. If you get us to 69, you gotta drop a comment.
Right. Just say nice in the chat, and we'll understand.
We'll get it. We'll know what that means.
Exactly. So that's one of your upcoming projects you've got going on.
Yes.
And then the other one we mentioned, A Wave Blue World. I said it right.
First try.
No hesitation on that one. Crash and Troy.
Yes. Crash and Troy is a 4-issue sci-fi buddy mercenary comic. Yeah. We can't show you what's behind the hand, but it's lame, So go and get the A Wave Blue Worlds, pre-order it. It's going to be super good. It's so much fun. I am so ready for people to read this book.
It is such a fun read too.
It's great.
I was having so much fun. So I was reading through this, which came in the All the Devils Are Here Kickstarter, and it was the cat video comments.
Yeah.
I was just like, I tweeted that out. I tweeted the picture of that. I was just like, yes, I feel this. I am busy watching cat videos.
Yeah. I thought like so I have a philosophy degree, right? And one of the things that when I was in school that I was really not a fan of was transhumanism, uh, which is sort of the idea that like humans are eventually going to like move beyond our mortal coil and we'll be, machines and stuff. And yeah. And so I decided I was going to make fun of it. And so we have this like idealistic, perfect transhuman named Troy who spends his time watching Netflix and watching cat videos. And but yeah, it's really funny. I'm really, really proud of this book. I'm really, really excited to get it out there.
And I love this homage.
Yeah.
Just
He's got a cat. Troy's got a cat. It's so funny.
if can I zoom this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Make that bigger.
Little kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Perfect.
I hope everybody pre-orders it so that we can sell a bunch and maybe make more. But it's really funny. I'm really proud. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what he's doing. He's just like, cat videos. Oh wait, am I supposed to be doing something?
Yeah. Exactly. Right. Yeah. I wrote this, and Caroline, I wrote this before I ever had a cat. Now I have 3 that I inherited from my wife. So yeah.
I don't know if you were watching earlier Circumstances, but check out this pre-launch for this Kickstarter. And if you see that number change 69, you got to say nice in the chat.
Yeah. You gotta
say. But he's another Kickstarter backer. He's backed a couple things. Lots of cool projects out there, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was excited to see this get, say, a permanent home with a Blade. Oh, see, I just said Blade.
Damn, so close.
Wave Blue World. Wave Blue World. And they did with they're the ones that did the Deadbeats anthology.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. Which our guest tomorrow night, Joe Corallo, was part of that. So it's kind of funny. We get back-to-back nights of people who have worked with a Wave Blue World.
So I was also in Deadbeats too.
I haven't read them yet, so
oh, they're good. The first one's really good. The second one's really good too.
Yeah.
But like everybody, it was just really that Deadbeats 2 is actually how I met Tyler at a Wave Blue World who runs it. He runs it. He's the publisher. But yeah, Joe asked me to be a part of Deadbeats 2, and I love Joe. Joe's like one of the nicest dudes in comics. A lovely person, talented editor, better writer, hell of a kisser. But but aside from that, right? Like I really like Joe. He invited. I was a huge fan of the first Deadbeats, like freakishly huge. And I really wanted to be a part of it. I was really bummed that I didn't get to be. Even I was very early in my writing career, but so when Deadbeats 2 came around, I was very lucky enough to get invited by Joe to be a part of it. And I have a story in there with Minerva Fox and AHG and Matt Kreutzer that's really good. I really enjoy it a lot. I still think it's really funny. Or it's not funny. I still think it's really creepy. I'm still in Crash and Troy. It's really creepy. Because
we got funny. It's creepy.
Yeah, we did like a very Minerva was really into some Junji Ito horror stories, and I took a little bit of inspiration from that. We kind of just ran from it.
Okay,
but it's good.
I could down with that. The theme behind those was it was based on music, right? Like the story, each story.
Yeah, it's a horror comics based around music.
Okay.
And we did K-pop in the biblical apocalypse for ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta read it.
It's one of those that's been on my list. Like it's probably since the last time we talked to Joe, which last summer.
It'd be like that. I get it. I get it.
And so it's on the eventual to purchase list to go on the shelf to go on the to read list. But it will get there. I will get it because I know they have it up on their website because I've looked. So I know where to get it. I know how to get it. We're working there.
It's really good. Joe and Eric Palicki is also was an editor on that, and he did they both did very good jobs. Very, very nice people to work with.
Nice. So Crash and Troy. I'm excited for the whole series to come out. Issue 1 got me like, all right, this is sci-fi having fun.
Yeah.
And already. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So we're exploring. One of the things about like Crash and Troy that I really wanted to explore is the sort of male angry archetype, and we have a lot of fun with that. Like, the book is very lighthearted. It's really funny, but it's also got like a really serious center point, right? Where we're talking about the way and the way that men, in particular, especially in like these 90s and 80s buddy cop movies that this thing is kind of influenced by, express their emotions and express rage, and how it's toxic and poisonous to not just you but to everybody around you. And and it's, again, that's something that I drive from my personal life. And it's really, really a fun series, though. Like, even if you're just there to just have a good time, you'll find something. Yeah.
Got a serious point in it, but having fun with it.
I tell everybody that Troy's character is just me making fun of my own writing. So like, there's definitely like, I feel like it's not super, super serious, but
oh wait, I'm not the white man that needs to read it, probably. But I will be reading it.
But yes, it's very good, very fun. Kyler and Bruno are amazing together. Buddy has some of the best jokes. We did some really fun big lettering stuff that I think is really, really funny. So I'm really excited for people to get into it finally, and just barely under 2 months.
Yeah, August 17th, if all holds good with delays and everything.
If there is a delay on this book's release, I'm gonna go fight somebody. Like, I swear to God, at this point.
I mean, at this point, delays, I'm just like, there's a 2-week delay from Diamond, I kind of expect every book to get delayed 2 weeks from Diamond, just because, even if it's not the like production side of things, just
Diamond better pull up.
Yeah, there was like even like an Image book that was supposed to come out last week, 8 billion genies.
Yeah,
got pushed 2 weeks, but yet like a handful of shops may have gotten it or something. Like maybe they got a bad run or something. I don't know. Something weird happened. It got pushed 2 weeks, and I was like, even if Image books are getting that, like the smaller publishers are probably getting pushed a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of getting ahead of the curve, right? Like,
yeah,
these smaller publishers really got to stay on top of their stuff in order to get it out. But like I said, I mean, Away Blue World's been very good to us, very kind, and their books have come out on time so far. So let's hope that Diamond doesn't try and pull something funny, because I will be driving it around to shops myself at this point.
I might as well just do a cross country road trip. Like, here, take this, please sell it.
Me and Kyle are going to meet up halfway between Texas and Michigan and just take it out ourselves.
Right, just cover the country. You got this. But yeah, if you haven't told your shops to get this one yet, please do it. You're gonna have a fun time with it. Well worth the read.
And
Um,
tell your shop to email me or DM me on Twitter. I'm
yeah,
more than happy to help shops with promoting it. I've got little, I don't have any postcards on me, but I have little promotional postcards. I'm getting posters made. I want shops to know that like we have their back. We're not small indie creators that are just gonna stick them with it and bounce.
yeah,
We want to help. We want to do what we can so that we can help shops out and get the book out to more people.
yeah. That's why when you were like trying to get shops, I was like, my shop doesn't use Twitter, but I can give you their email. Reach out to them.
Yeah, and I'm gonna email them right after this.
All right, so I'll ask them tomorrow if you now.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, because actually they didn't get like Diamond. Actually, speaking of Diamond not sending things, they got an email from Diamond. They're like, "Hey, we found your lost box." And they're like, "You never told us you lost the box." So, like several of the books that were supposed to come out today, they didn't get them. They're coming
Wow.
tomorrow, they think. So I'm gonna swing by after work.
That's Diamond.
I was like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. It's expected.
At least they got him though. That's good.
Yeah, they're on the way. Did I also see there's like a ratio variant on this?
There is. There's a 110 variant. That's the full art, no logo, no dress, for the yeah, there we go.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Okay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
that now I definitely in my shop to get 10 copies.
Right.
Gotta
And
get that.
and they could move 10 units, and that was one of the things we talked about. Yeah. Sometimes.
Sometime, every week.
Yeah. One of
It's
the things we talked about with this cover is that we really wanted it to be a low incentive. Like we really wanted it
yeah,
to be where people could get it, because it's really a really beautiful cover. I really love looking at it. Paris is
yeah.
awesome.
The art is awesome. I mean the art on the regular one and
Yeah,
interiors. Kyler's art's also awesome, but you always love a good homage for
I know.
especially. I mean, this is nowhere near as done as like ASM 300. That I could do without seeing another one of those, but it says a few homages out there.
if
But
if if we get a second printing, I have been given a non-binding promise that we get to do a Devil Wears Prada cover homage for our second printing.
okay,
So not only do we need to sell these, we need to also
sell out.
sell out completely so we can get a Devil Wears Prada variant. And I know that probably doesn't make sense for people who haven't read it, but I promise it makes sense, and I promise that we all want it. So, pre-order and buy both covers. No one's stopping you. No one's gonna stop you.
I told my shop all covers, so hopefully that'll get them to think about getting that ratio.
Hell yeah, I hope so.
Um, yeah, I'm excited though. Just ready to read the rest of that. Yeah.
I'm ready for it to be out. It's just been such a long time coming. Comics take like I think I wrote Crash and Troy in 2018,
Okay.
and I wrote originally I was just gonna do a prison break scene, right? Like a
Yeah.
sci-fi prison break, and that's what I wrote. And Kyler, I was just gonna have
Yeah.
Kyler draw it. We were just gonna put it online for fun, and then the next thing I knew, I had this fully developed story, and we had it in our back pockets until my first book, Dryfoot, came out,
Okay.
and then we pitched it, and it got accepted, and that didn't work out super well, and we ended up getting wasting all of 2020, and then we got the book back. Wasting all of 2020 and 2021, and then we got the book back, and now we have it right back out. So it
Yeah.
is a really, really long. process for this book, but I think a lot of people are going to resonate with it.
Was it the second book that you wrote then, timeline wise?
In terms of like a mini series, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because I think I worked on, because I had written the draft that I wrote in 2018. It actually, I guess that would make it, maybe no, maybe it's the first book I wrote actually,
Okay.
because I wrote it in 2018, and then I won the Mad Cave Studios Talent Search in 2019, and I wrote Dryfoot, and then whenever Crash and Troy got picked up by our former publisher, I rewrote all 4 issues
Okay.
because it had been 2 years. So
Yeah. So you want to go back through and use new skills and make it
yeah,
even better.
yeah, and we wanted to change up a few things that kind of muddied it up. The climax was a little bit all over the place, and
Okay.
so yeah, we had to fix it and rework it. And so yeah, I think it would be like the second miniseries that I wrote, and then like right after that, I was working on Twin Blades, and then All the Devils Are Here.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time, but I really do think people are going to resonate. They're going to like it.
Yeah. It sounds like once things started going for you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Awesome.
yeah. Dryfoot was a huge thing for me, and I'm very grateful to Mad Cave Studios, Chris Fernandez, Mark London, everybody over there, who gave me a chance on that book. Because after that, it was I obviously didn't have any work in 2021 because we Dryfoot finished and then the world shut down, and but I had fortunately built up enough people knew about me, knew about my work, knew about how I wrote, to where I was able to put up 2 Kickstarters in a year and,
Yeah.
and 2 44-page one shots in a year, and it worked out. And that was a pretty big gamble. I didn't really pitch at all last year. I kind of just worked on the Kickstarter books and the anthologies that I'd been a part of. But yeah, everything, Dryfoot was a big turning point, and it was kind of like that moment people realized like I can deliver the goods.
Yeah. Awesome. With the DC Milestones Initiative, are they trying to get those involved with that to eventually write things for DC, or were they doing that more just to, spotlight you guys, get you guys even more involved in the creative process of making comics? Was there, I guess, an intent from DC to have you guys coming in?
I'm gonna say no. I don't think that it was never promised to us that we would get DC work.
Gotcha.
I feel like I could take some on, and I'm happy to take whatever they have to give. But the way that I treated the Milestone Initiative was, this is a learning opportunity. This is a chance for me to get to meet people that are doing this at the highest level, to learn from them,
Yeah.
to get what I can, and that's kind of how I've treated it. I've never gone in with the presumption that I was going to be writing anything for them, and but if I do, I would obviously be more than happy. I really like the people at DC, very lovely people, and I would love to do work for them. But right now, I am very, very fortunate to have a lot of opportunities and a lot of projects on my plate. And so right now, it's focusing on the ones that I know that I have, and
Yeah.
hoping for the ones that are down the line.
You got those connections
Yeah,
now. So that's always a good thing to now know those people, and they can be watching what you're doing and say, hey, you wrote this type of story would work really well. Come on
yeah,
in. Keep that door
yeah,
open.
yeah. And that's kind of all you can ask for. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, all you
manifest
can,
it.
yeah, all you can ever ask and hope for is that eventually somebody will see what you have to bring, and
Yeah,
especially in comics. But like I said, I've got a lot of stuff on my plate. I've got stuff coming down the pipeline that I got to get together. So like I might honestly, Twin Blades Blood and Obsidian might be my last Kickstarter for a while, just because I have so much going on. But yeah, I'm just very grateful for what I have. I'm very grateful for the opportunity at the Milestone Initiative and to have learned everything that I did, to have
yeah.
met the people that I did. But yeah, if DC work comes, I would certainly not turn it down. But until then, I am not going
Busy
to
with other
presume. Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I'm going to worry about what I got.
Yeah. So I feel like you gotta pull like I feel like David Propose was like tweeting about like, man, I'd love to write a Conan story. And then now we got the Savage Avengers out there. Just gotta
Yeah,
like put it out there, manifest it, whichever when you're ready to do that.
I got a Bane story and a Diablo story right now. So
There we
uh,
go.
I love Bane. I think Bane's the coolest. I've read Nightfall like 100 times. So I've got those things in my pockets. Like I've got a whole Word doc or a whole folder in my computer for Star Wars pitches. So because I'm a giant Star Wars nerd. Um, so if and I have them all
Really?
password protected.
Really? Nah. Star Wars nerd?
Yeah, I didn't fight for that at all.
Nah.
That wasn't my suggestion for the variant. Yeah.
Oh man. And it's Obi-Wan's last episode today.
So my wife does this thing that's really cool where she wants to watch something with me, but she doesn't want to watch it when I want to watch it. So I haven't seen a single episode of Kenobi, and I'm like dying. Like
Uh
I'm dying. But I'm
it's
one
like
day.
ignore Twitter. It's
Yeah.
good. Like I think if you went in with expectations of what it was supposed to be, you might be like, oh, well, it's not what I wanted it to be, but it's good. It's Star Wars. It's
I'm
it's
I
fun.
feel like yeah, I love Star Wars so much, and I feel like I really am not. I have my opinions on certain movies like everybody does, but I'm really good about like not caring what Twitter thinks, and I'm like a
Yeah,
prominent muter. I'll mute keywords for everything. I don't care. I'm like, okay, I'm sick of listening about Zack Snyder, muted. Like I'm sick of listening about uh, people being mad about Kenobi, muted.
yeah.
So I don't think I've been
That's
spoiled
smart.
anything because I
That's
just mute
smart.
everybody.
I should once some of that stuff started popping up, I should have just been like mute.
I've got like 200 muted keywords because I'm just like, oh, this is the best function ever. I don't even have to deal with these people anymore.
Yeah, yeah. It's been fun. Like I don't know. I feel like we're doing fun sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
Star Wars is just fun sci-fi. It's not meant to be taken seriously.
No, and I think that's like one of the really terrible things that's happened in the last 10 years is how serious people have gotten about liking things.
Yeah,
And the prominent rise of headcanon and thinking that what you think, um and it's just like sometimes it's just the most unimaginative nonsense. And
mm-hmm.
I remember when Endgame was coming out, somebody posted that they had gotten a leak of the trailer and they had posted a description of the trailer, and I read it and I was like, man, I hope that's not the trailer because that sounds like shit. This sounds awful. Like this sounds like the most unimaginative dribble that I've ever seen in my life. And then it wasn't. It was a lie,
Yeah.
because people just want Reddit upvotes.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, it's a very strange era to be living in sort of this culture that we're living in. But
Yeah.
um, I love Star Wars. I will more than happily watch Star Wars or at least give it a chance. And the other thing, right, like, is you don't have to like everything,
You
right?
don't.
Like, there's nothing stating that you have to like every single piece of Star Wars or that it ruins the parts that you like.
Right. And especially since they're expanding all the stories, right? It's not
Yeah.
just the movies anymore. We've got shows, we've got all kinds of different things going on. You can go read the books, you can read the comics,
Yeah.
you can like you don't have to like all parts of it.
I, I had a friend who had like a library of the pre-Disney
Yeah.
books and novels, and when they made it all non-canon or legends or whatever, I remember him like losing his temper, like being super upset, and I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
still have the books, you can still read them,
Right.
like these aren't real things, that none of this matters,
Yeah. Like I can sort of get like, okay, you've read that, you want the stuff to be based off of that material because you thought that material was so good, but in like to that point upset.
Yeah.
Nah, I read some of those novels. They were great.
I
I
Yeah.
I loved some of the characters that they created in that, and I saw influence from some of that brought into like the characters that we have now.
Yeah.
It's cool, but
I I am I am still a huge Knights of the Old Republic fan. I thought Knights of the Old Republic was like some of the best Star Wars, um, after the original trilogy, and all of that became non-canon, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll still play the game, because like I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
yeah, can't imagine calling myself a fan and then being disappointed in what we've been getting. Yeah, there's something out there for everyone with the current Star Wars. I feel like just
Yeah,
just have fun and watch or read,
yeah.
or if you don't like it, turn it off.
Yeah, and remember, that's what all of this stuff is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. If
Yeah,
from my books to Star Wars, like to the MCU, this is supposed to be stuff that brings you joy. And if it doesn't, do something else, man. Like, you have a very limited time to be doing anything. Like, don't
yeah,
spend it being mad about things like you can't control.
yeah. I mean, there's like comics. There's such a range of genres that we're getting from that like find the thing that you like.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got fun Mexicans with swords. We've got fun sci-fi. We got kind of, I guess, more serious, emotional story, and All the Devils Are Here. But I don't know. I still feel like there were bits of that were, the hunter. He was having a little bit of
Yeah.
fun like that. That's what he liked to do, was go in and save people from the
Yeah.
possession.
And but you're supposed to enjoy them, right? Like,
Right. If you're not like, I don't know, if someone's over analyzing a comic and is just like, oh, this character wouldn't act this way. It's like, they're a fictional character.
yeah,
No.
the explain every single facet of every single movement, and I'm like, that's not how stories work. We would never get anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, some of it is a little bit presumption on like how a character would act based on prior things. It's not always like a breakdown. That would be the most
Yeah.
boring thing of all time. But yeah, I mean, I love doing Twin Blades, and I love doing stories like All the Devils Are Here. Um, I have a couple of other really serious things that I'm working on that are not like fun and or funny and lighthearted, but I don't expect people to like all of those things. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't like Twin Blades. It's cool. Don't tweet to me about it, because I don't particularly want to hear that. But like, I'm not gonna. I don't. If you decide that you don't like it, then cool, man. Like, I don't care.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just thinking about this, like suspend your disbelief. If you can suspend disbelief for a whole huge concept of aliens and things with Star Wars, or other things, like, don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah. What was the one of the funniest things that ever happened about Star Wars was the Han Solo's the Kessel Run in 3 parsecs, right? And they dedicated an entire movie to explaining that wasn't like a George Lucas just didn't know what that meant, and it's funny. Like, it's just, what do you made a whole movie to explain that he made the Kessel Run in 3 parsecs, but it wasn't a mistake because it's a distance of measure. It's a measure of distance, not time. But I always think things like that is just like super funny. Like, I didn't know it was a measure of distance until I was like 19.
Yeah. Well, it's like they don't necessarily go into that too in depth in like the movie.
Yeah.
Stuff. Like, so most people aren't reading in depth and like in the wikis and like, going into the encyclopedias.
Like, if I'm watching a movie about a dusty space samurai with a laser sword, my main concern isn't that parsecs is a measure of distance and not time.
Depends on, I guess
And
it
that's
depends
cool.
on the genre, right? If it's sci-fi and they kind of create and build new rules for the world,
Yeah.
they can do whatever they want. If it's reality based and then they mess up the science, I get it.
Yeah. Like Space Wizard Samurai, But also, like, on that note, right? I love the movie Interstellar. And Interstellar is really intensely correct on its science. To the point of, like, they had people on set making sure that they were constructing a model for the black hole and things like that. So, like, my whole thing is you can do both. You can enjoy both. It's possible. If you don't, though, like, that's cool. Like, I'm not here to judge you. It's just like one of those things.
Specifically batteries. All right.
I would like that. I like that. That's just the specific thing you're
I
into.
love it. I love it. That's, hey, I mean, I don't know much about some of that, so I wouldn't know if they're getting it wrong.
Could you give me a movie that specifically gets everything right about batteries? And I'm not asking that to be facetious. I am, like, as somebody
Curiosity.
who identifies as somebody who likes batteries, like, hit me up. I would love to know. Yeah.
Space Wizard Samurai. Nothing wrong there.
Hell yeah.
I like it. Yeah, no, now I'm curious. I'm sure it's happened many times in movies where they mess something up with like the battery piece powering something. Curiosity now.
I know. What's the perfect battery movie?
While we wait for that response, where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter and Instagram, at Jarred Luján. It's spelled just like my name is right here, but there's no accent on my name because Twitter doesn't identify that as a character. But so you can find me at both of those. You can. I don't have a Facebook page. A I have a Facebook, but it's pretty much just because my mom makes me keep it up. But I don't have like a comics page. But so Twitter and Instagram. You can also go to my website. It's luhanwrites.com. Writes like a pen. And you can subscribe to my newsletter. I really like doing the newsletter. You get early looks at some of the stuff that I'm working on. I talk about, sometimes I'll talk about my process. Sometimes I'll talk about people that inspire me. Every now and then I'll do a really in-depth talk about how much I like a certain rap album. I almost did it on Jay Stone's Definition of Pain this month, and then I stopped, which is a really good album, by the way. And so yeah, you can find me there. I'm most active on Twitter. I like Twitter a lot for the type of person I am. So you should definitely follow me on Twitter.
And I have your website, Instagram, and Twitter linked below too.
Perfect.
So people can go straight to there and check it out.
Yeah,
easy access.
The newsletter just crossed 300 people signed up.
Nice.
So I'm very proud of the newsletter. So if you're looking for a comics newsletter that it's only once a month too, right? Like, I'm not going to blow you up every month, every day, every week. Sometimes it's every once in 2 months. I didn't do one last month because I was busy.
It happens. yeah, so we're still waiting. He's thinking about a battery issue in a movie. But Twin Blades, I'll drop the link to that again to the chat real quick. Go hit that pre-launch link, so you'll know when it launches later in July, and then let your shop know that you want to get Crash and Troy.
Yes.
From A Wave Blue World.
Yeah, first try.
I read it off the screen.
And just like remember, right? Like you are the best. You are the best advertisement for indie comics, right? Like going into your shop and telling them, "Hey, I heard this book's good. I really want to check it out." You can tell your shop, "Hey," because nobody knows like your comic tastes almost better than your local shop, right?
Yeah.
Like my most of the new titles I put on my pull list is because my shop recommends them. But you can go to your shop and be like, "Hey, I heard this book's really dope. I saw the writer on YouTube. He's kind of annoying with how much he likes the Wu-Tang Clan, but it sounds really dope. Can you get a PDF and tell me if you think I'll like it? Because I'll do that. I'll send your shop a PDF. I don't care, and then they can read it and tell you if you think it's your thing."
Is the newsletter linked on the website?
Yeah, it's on my website, and at the top bar, it should say newsletter on it, and it'll link you right to the sign up form.
And the link to the website right down below in the description. He is saying there was a spelunking horror movie called The Cave that did batteries extremely well. We have a positive battery movie there, The Cave.
I think that this is I've seen that movie, right?
I cannot answer that question.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this movie. I'm like super impressed that you took a second to think about it and you came back with an answer. I'm not sure I could do that with most things that specific. I have definitely seen The Cave. I will rewatch it and I will keep an eye out on the batteries.
So I guess that one, they got it right.
Yes.
No answer on who got it wrong.
Who got it the worst?
I mean, yeah. Someone really messed up batteries.
I imagine. I'm super psyched. This is the most fun I've had on a live YouTube in a while. It's just like it's so like the batteries thing threw me.
I love this. So thank you for being in the chat.
Yeah, thank you for your battery knowledge.
And it sounds like he's going to be signing up for your newsletter too. So
thank you. It's going to be fun next month. I just sent one out a couple days ago, but my next one will be out in July.
Be on the lookout for it. So that'll be probably around lunchtime of Twin Blades.
Yeah, it'll probably be right around the time of Twin Blades launching. Yeah, thank you.
He's a cool guy. He does some funny things on YouTube sometimes. He's done some kind of like funny interview type of things too over on his channel. Yeah. Any other projects you got coming up that you can talk about or can't?
No, if I do have a webtoon coming out later this year, I hope. It is June, so I'm not positive that's going to be a thing. But if you get your comics through webtoons, there will be one written by me in the near future. It's going to be through a publisher, so it's not going to be from me directly. But I am really excited for this one as well. I got to do a lot of weird stuff and a lot of crazy action adventure stuff. So yeah, if you like webtoons, that's going to be out later, hopefully later this year, early next year. But yeah, otherwise, it was just announced today, as a matter of fact. I'm a part of Mad Cave Studios' Lower Your Sights anthology. The Lower Your Sights anthology is a benefit anthology for the voices of children, which are helping out children displaced and affected by the war in Ukraine. So if you go to your shop as of next week, it'll be available for pre-order. So yeah, and there's a lot of really good people in there. Eric is in there. Joe is in there.
It's
And then
huge list
there's
of creators.
yeah. I couldn't. There's a lot of really good people in there, and a lot of them are my friends. And I was like, they invited me to be a part of this group.
Of course
Like,
they did.
what? Yeah,
Of course
I was
they
like,
did.
hell yeah, yeah. But it was really exciting. I saw that list, and I was like, oh shit, these are some
Yeah.
really dope people. But
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, definitely pre-order that. Really cool anthology. Matt, who is the co-creator and artist on All the Devils Are Here, has a story in there that he wrote,
Awesome.
and he sent me today, and it's very good. So for sure, put in a pre-order for that too.
Yeah. And going to a really great cause.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not, and I mean, we're not talking. Nobody's taking sides. Nobody cares about that. It's about helping people affected by this.
Here we go. Worst battery movies are those horror movies that do POV from a camcorder and the battery never changes because it's an overlay, like Cloverfield.
Oh man, I love Cloverfield too. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. I'm with you on that. Yeah. The battery would be dead by the end of that movie.
Yeah, doesn't it like no? It turns off and he smacks it back on or something like that.
Yeah, I think it gets
Yeah,
dropped at some point.
yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Well, now we have our answers.
I know.
We have
Off
really
the
good and really bad.
off the top of his head, because there's no way you can like just look that up. You know, there's no worst and best battery movie list, even though there might. I would read it.
Maybe there's a spreadsheet.
Or,
That'd be perfect. He's like scrolling through. All right, which one do I want to tell them?
let me check my rankings. You know, like
Right. Oh man. Well, thanks for hanging out tonight. I'm very much looking forward to the books you got coming up, and hopefully those watching tonight and later on watching this on the replay, go and check them out. Then do one final refresh of those following. We don't get to say nice tonight. Still at 68, but
dang,
made it a little bit further. So hopefully someone tonight does it and you see it when it happens. So you'll be able to put that tweet out.
I will tag you in that tweet if you. Yeah, Wu-Tang forever, indeed. If you have not subscribed to Twin Blades Blood and Obsidian on Kickstarter, go do it so that we can get to 69 tonight and we can say nice. So
I've dropped it one more time in case Promiscuous Time Traveler has not done so already.
Depending on you, Promiscuous Time Traveler.
And it's in the name.
Yeah.
Come on. But yeah, I'll give him a second to do that before we close out. But yeah, go follow Jarred on Twitter, Instagram. Go check out the website. Sign up for the newsletter. Get in on all of that to see that you did drop some previews pages of Twin Blades Blood and Obsidian in the last one. I think no letters on it, but it was the artwork, which was really cool.
Yeah, the pages are not lettered yet. They're done. They're going to be done by Gabriella Downey, who has done lettering for DC before. So you can trust me when I say that they're going to look fantastic. Damn.
Right. He's resetting his password.
But they're really, really, really dope. And Julio and Rocco have both got so much better since the first Twin Blades. I'm really, really excited to see how it all turns out.
It's cool to like work with someone and see them progress in their own craft.
Oh man, it's just something to behold. Like I feel like this is the second time this has happened to me because it really felt like Kyler got better as he worked on the Crash and Troy pages. You know,
Yeah.
By issue 4, it feels like a whole different artist sometimes. But with these two, right, we finished the first Twin Blades. We came back, and those colors, Rocco just blows it out with the colors, and Julio's pages are so dynamic and fun. But yeah, I hope that I'm really excited for the launch. we have so much cool stuff planned. I have so much fun with Kickstarters. I spend a bunch of money. I make almost none of it back, but it's just so much fun.
As long as you're having fun and enjoying it, I feel like that's like what I feel like a lot of Kickstarter creators say is like, I got the story I wanted to tell out there to the people that wanted to read it, and I enjoyed it. They're enjoying it. I don't care if I made any money back.
And Kickstarter has been an amazing tool for so many talented creators. There's just so many good books out there that publishers wouldn't touch, you know. But we get to do a lot of fun stuff, a lot of cool books. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, actually, that I did see something today that just reminded me. There's there was Zoop out there, but there's Crowdfunder.
Yes.
Now another platform. I saw I think Ryan Lindsay has a one shot on there. I haven't seen anybody else yet, but
so Leslie Julian and AJ Mason are a couple of friends of mine. They have a book called Head Cases on there right now.
Okay.
And it is Leslie is a phenomenal writer. Just an incredible talent, and I'm really excited for it. I like AJ is also a really good writer. I'm not trying to say anything, but but I'm really excited for that book. So if you're gonna give it a chance, to check out Head Cases as well.
Cool. Yeah, that was the first time I'd heard of Crowdfunder was today. I was like, cool. I like that there's more, I guess, more resources out there. If for some reason someone said, "Nah, I don't like Kickstarter," there's other platforms out there to get the products out there.
Yeah, and Zoop is a comics centric, if I'm not mistaken. They're doing
I think they started with comics and then they were going to expand from there.
Oh, okay.
Potentially, I'm not 100% sure, but they are definitely comic centric.
Yeah, and I backed someone's book on Zoop that I have. Oh, it was 33. It was my buddy Juan's book. 33.
I got that one. I don't know where it is right now.
It's that's the struggle, you know.
That's the story of me and backing things. It's here somewhere.
You buy comics and you hope for the best.
It made it into the apartment. That's all I got.
As long as you know you can find it at some point.
I will not make Promiscuous Time Traveler continue to struggle with the password reset right now. But anything else do you want to throw out there to the viewers?
Well, first, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. It is, promoting indie books is always like a struggle, but I appreciate everybody who watched. I really do. Am very grateful for it. I hope you'll consider one of the books that I've talked about tonight. But most importantly, listen to the Wu-Tang Clan and believe in yourselves, and pre-order Crash and Troy. Other side. There we
go. Wait, put it back up.
Yeah, there. Shit, I still messed it up. What is wrong with me?
Oh, wait. Wait for it.
You do it? Nice.
There we go.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Promiscuous Time Traveler, living up to the name.
Coming in with the save before we wrap it up here.
Hell yeah. What a champ.
What a way to end it there. All right.
Well, thank you all. I appreciate it.
Nice. And thank you again for coming on. And thank you for going for that struggle to reset the password and hit that follow button. So anybody watching later, go check that out as well. Get ready to launch in July, and you'll have the notification ready to go.
Save some money, get some dope books.
Absolutely. I gotta find my little button here to play the end thing, but have a nice night, everybody.
Yeah, thank y'all.